Welcome to Home Garden Inspirations TV, your go-to space for smart, stylish, and sustainable outdoor living. What if I told you that your tiny backyard could feel like a luxurious retreat without adding a single inch of space? Whether you've got just a narrow side yard or a compact patio, minimalist design can completely transform how it looks, feels, and functions. In 2025, less is smarter. We're talking clean lines, soft greenery, thoughtful layering, and outdoor spaces that breathe. Imagine a Zen garden built for calm, or a single, stunning tree that turns your backyard into a living sculpture. And the best part? These ideas aren't just beautiful, they're low maintenance, space-saving, and totally achievable. So stick around, because today we're sharing 5 minimalist small backyard garden ideas that will turn your tiny yard into a green paradise. In a world that never stops moving, there's something magical about stepping into your backyard and feeling an immediate sense of calm. That's the power of a minimalist Zen garden, a space that doesn't just look peaceful but feels peaceful. With only a few carefully chosen elements like smooth white gravel, shaped stones, a small bonsai, and a bamboo screen, your tiny outdoor area can become a sanctuary of quiet and reflection. You don't need a large yard to experience stillness. You just need the right design. In 2025, minimalist backyard trends are leaning more toward intentional simplicity and meditative design, and nothing captures that better than a Zen-inspired layout. It's not about filling the space, it's about clearing it, creating visual breathing room, a place where you can sit still and let your mind wander. If you've been searching for a way to disconnect from the noise without leaving home, a Zen garden gives you that escape. Minimal upkeep, maximum peace. Let's explore how simplicity can be your greatest design asset. A minimalist Zen garden may be the most effective way to transform a small backyard into something serene, sophisticated, and deeply personal. Rooted in Japanese tradition and adapted for modern outdoor spaces, this design concept brings clarity through restraint and elegance through simplicity. Instead of layering plants and furniture, a Zen-style layout strips everything back to its most essential components, creating a peaceful environment that encourages mindfulness and stillness. The foundation of this aesthetic starts with a smooth, raked gravel surface in white or light gray tones. This space represents water in Zen philosophy and helps reflect light across the yard, making the space feel larger and more open. Carefully placed flat stones or stepping pads guide your eye and your path, while small details like a moss patch or a precisely trimmed bonsai tree become the central focus, not distractions. A low bamboo fence or screen acts as a natural backdrop, creating both visual privacy and balance. What sets this design apart is its harmony. Each element is selected not for show but for meaning. The arrangement is thoughtful and curated, whether it's the orientation of stones, the flow of gravel lines, or the position of a lantern. There's no clutter, no unnecessary color, and no pressure to fill every square inch. Instead, there's room to breathe. Modern updates for 2025 might include solar pathway lights hidden among rocks, minimalist seating like a stone bench, or a single water feature with a gentle trickle. These subtle integrations allow for modern convenience without disrupting the stillness that defines a Zen space. Whether your backyard is 10 feet wide or 20 feet long, you can embrace this calming approach. A Zen garden doesn't need scale, it needs thought. The fewer the elements, the greater their impact. This design works especially well for busy homeowners who want beauty without complexity. A few rakes of gravel and a trimmed bonsai can restore the look instantly. Ultimately, a Zen garden is not just a space to look at. It's a space to be in. To sit in silence, sip tea, breathe deeper, and reconnect with what matters. That's the essence of turning your small yard into a green paradise through minimalist design. The benefits of a minimalist Zen garden go far beyond aesthetics. This style is uniquely suited to small backyards because it works with space, not against it. By focusing on open areas, light colors, and minimal elements, your outdoor space feels significantly larger than it actually is. It's a visual trick with emotional rewards. But the real value lies in the atmosphere it creates. A Zen garden invites calm. It provides a space for reflection, reading, or simply being present. In a time when we're constantly connected to screens and schedules, having a dedicated area for stillness is more important than ever. Additionally, maintenance is extremely low. No lawns to mow, no flower beds to trim, no complicated irrigation systems. Gravel, stones, and slow-growing plants mean you spend more time enjoying and less time working. It's a timeless design that evolves with the seasons without requiring constant updates. And finally, it's budget-friendly. You don't need expensive landscaping to achieve elegance. With just a few carefully placed elements, your small yard becomes your personal sanctuary, a retreat you return to every day. Ever noticed how a clean, green line can instantly guide your eyes and calm your mind? That's the quiet power of grass-lined pathways. In a minimalist backyard, sometimes it's not about how much you include, but how you arrange the simplest elements. Grass isn't just a filler. When used as a precise border, it becomes a feature. Whether you're laying down sleek stepping stones or a narrow gravel path, adding soft strips of low-growing grass on either side creates a natural contrast that feels intentional and fresh. This idea takes inspiration from high-end modern landscaping but scales it down perfectly for a small yard. In 2025, it's all about clean geometry paired with organic texture. The contrast between structured pathways and soft greenery transforms even a tight outdoor space into something striking yet serene. Plus, the lines naturally draw you in, adding a sense of flow and order that makes your yard feel longer and more spacious. If you're someone who loves neat edges, uncluttered spaces, and a fresh modern look but still wants that vibrant green touch, grass-lined minimalist paths might be your new favorite design move. It's subtle, it's sharp, and it's surprisingly transformative. Green border magic is all about turning minimal into magnificent by using the natural beauty of grass to define space in an elegant, structured way. At its core, this design concept relies on the strategic use of clean edges, narrow walkways, and sharp geometry balanced by the softness of greenery. It's a minimalist approach that doesn't feel bare. Instead, it feels smart, tailored, and full of quiet sophistication. Start by envisioning a central path maybe made of large, rectangular concrete pavers, smooth stepping stones, or fine crushed gravel. Rather than laying the path edge to edge, you leave deliberate negative space along each side. Into that space, you introduce grass. Not a sprawling lawn, but narrow, trimmed strips of soft turf or hardy, low-maintenance grasses like zoysia or mondo grass. These green borders frame the path, adding both texture and contrast. In a small backyard, this design creates visual rhythm. The repetition of green lines guides movement and stretches the appearance of space. It's like drawing a straight line through nature, organized but still organic. To keep things balanced, the rest of the yard should remain simple. Perhaps a slim planter bed on one side, a neutral wall as a backdrop, and 1 or 2 modern outdoor lights to accent the path at night. The beauty of this idea is how little you need to achieve maximum effect. You're not layering complex structures or loading the space with features. Instead, you're using contrast between gray and green, hard and soft, structured and wild. These subtle differences create a dynamic look without adding visual weight. And when done right, the entire space feels clean, purposeful, and modern. Designers in 2025 are leaning heavily into this approach for small yards because it visually elongates the space. The green lines draw your eye forward, making even the smallest outdoor area feel longer, neater, and more expansive. It's an optical illusion that works brilliantly in tight urban lots, side yards, and even back patios. You can also elevate the design further by adding vertical greenery, like a climbing vine or espaliered plant wall at the end of the path. This adds height and depth while maintaining the clean aesthetic. The path becomes the journey and the border becomes the guide. In the end, green border magic is proof that good design doesn't require excess. Sometimes, it's the most restrained touches, the soft grass border, the sharp paver edge, that leave the biggest impression. The benefits of this design go beyond curb appeal. It's about function, mood, and ease. Grass-lined pathways offer a natural flow that helps small backyards feel more open and intentional. That sense of organization reduces visual chaos, which in turn reduces stress. Instead of trying to squeeze in plants, furniture, and features everywhere, you're working with space, not against it. From a practical standpoint, this design is also easy to maintain. The grass borders are small, which means less watering, mowing, or trimming. You can even opt for hardy ornamental grass varieties that require almost no maintenance while staying lush year-round. Plus, because the pathway is defined and raised, there's less foot traffic on the turf, so it stays healthy longer. Visually, the contrast between the sharp path and the soft green lines creates depth and makes the space appear bigger. It's ideal for anyone with a narrow or short backyard who wants to add the illusion of scale without crowding the area. In short, green border magic provides just the right mix of structure and softness. It's a modern landscaping strategy that turns simplicity into something that feels fresh, expansive, and undeniably stylish. If your small backyard feels like a flat patch of green with no real design, it's time to think in layers, linear lawn layers, to be exact. This minimalist idea combines structured geometry with soft green textures to create a space that feels both artistic and alive. Instead of one continuous lawn or an overwhelming mix of materials, you break the space into deliberate segments. Think alternating stripes of turf and stone, narrow grass rectangles framed by pavers, or even layered levels of grass beds separated by sleek, concrete borders. What makes this style so appealing is its clean rhythm and balance. It feels intentional, organized, and refreshing. It's the kind of design you see in high-end architectural magazines, yet it works beautifully even in a 10 by 10 space. The sharp lines of the geometry emphasize structure, while the green lawn softens the look, creating contrast, harmony, and depth all at once. In 2025, small backyard design isn't about more, it's about smart layering. And this idea captures the essence of modern outdoor living. Natural yet precise, simple yet sophisticated. If you're ready to transform your lawn from plain to polished, linear layering might just be your minimalist's secret weapon. Linear lawn layers is a minimalist garden design technique that blends soft grass with sharp architectural lines to maximize space and style. Especially perfect for small backyards, this layout strategy creates visual interest, structure, and a unique sense of movement using simple shapes and repetition. Imagine your backyard divided into alternating layers: a strip of lush, low-maintenance turf followed by a band of gray stone, a row of square concrete pavers framed by narrow green beds, or a sequence of raised lawn platforms separated by smooth black gravel. The design relies on parallel lines and rectangular forms that repeat rhythmically across the yard, creating an illusion of length, depth, and harmony. What makes this method so powerful is its precision. Each section has a defined purpose: walking path, green patch, seating zone, yet it all feels part of a cohesive whole. Even in tiny spaces, this layered layout delivers a refined architectural aesthetic that feels deliberate and calming. The eye is guided naturally through the space, thanks to the consistent shapes and subtle contrast between materials. The beauty of linear design lies in its adaptability. You can scale it to fit a long, narrow yard or apply it in a compact square plot. It can be purely aesthetic or fully functional, depending on your needs. For example, alternating layers of grass and stone can lead from your patio to a small deck or lounge zone. You can even introduce height variation using raised lawn beds or floating timber seating platforms to add complexity while preserving minimalism. In terms of materials, this style thrives on consistency and texture. Think polished concrete, fine gravel, neutral-toned stepping stones, and soft green turf. To prevent the layout from feeling too cold or rigid, incorporate small elements like recessed ground lighting or narrow planter strips with ornamental grasses. The contrast between the geometric order and natural elements creates a pleasing tension that feels both structured and alive. This design also aligns beautifully with 2025 landscaping trends, where minimalism merges with mindfulness. A layered lawn encourages interaction, whether it's stepping across tactile surfaces, lying on soft turf, or moving from one clean section to another. It's not just a garden, it's an experience. You're creating a space that breathes, directs, and soothes, all while staying visually uncluttered. If your goal is to transform your plain backyard lawn into something that looks high design but stays minimal, linear layering gives you form, flow, and elegance in one layout. With clean geometry and living green in perfect balance, your tiny yard becomes a polished outdoor haven. Linear lawn layers offer a range of benefits, particularly for homeowners working with tight backyard spaces. First, this style adds a visual rhythm that draws the eye forward and across, instantly making small areas feel more spacious and organized. The strategic layering of grass and structure introduces boundaries that bring order without adding clutter. Functionally, this layout defines space in a smart way. You get designated zones without using bulky dividers or furniture. that's perfect for modern living where every square foot counts. Whether you're walking, lounging, or entertaining, the lawn feels like it has purpose and flow. Maintenance is also easier. Since the lawn is broken into smaller segments, it's simpler to care for. You can isolate wear and tear, water only the necessary patches, and replace small sections over time. The layered format also encourages the use of durable ground covers and hardscape materials, reducing the need for constant upkeep. Finally, this design brings a designer's eye to your home. Even on a modest budget, you get a space that looks like it belongs in a modern landscape portfolio. It's minimalist, but it doesn't feel empty. Just purposeful, sharp, and serene. What if your small backyard could feel bigger without adding a single inch of space? That's the power of floating planters and neutral tones. In a minimalist garden, airiness is everything. The more you lift things off the ground and use a light, cohesive color palette, the more open and breathable your yard becomes. And in 2025, this look is the new signature of modern outdoor design. Floating planters, whether suspended from a pergola, mounted on walls, or arranged on see-through shelves, free up ground space while adding visual height. They let greenery cascade, drape, or pop in surprising places without overwhelming the scene. Meanwhile, soft hues like warm whites, stone grays, beiges, and natural wood textures act as a calm backdrop. These tones allow your plants to shine while creating harmony throughout the space. This isn't just another garden idea, it's a design strategy rooted in simplicity and elegance. When your space feels light, it feels luxurious. Floating elements and muted colors bring that barely there sophistication that turns small outdoor areas into modern retreats. If you're looking to declutter visually while adding depth and design, this concept might be the light and effortless upgrade you never knew your yard needed. Floating planters and neutral tones is a minimalist backyard concept that plays with elevation, balance, and color to transform even the tiniest space into a serene, sophisticated retreat. This design approach strips away the heaviness that traditional gardens often carry: dense furniture, bold colors, and grounded plants, and instead creates the illusion of openness and calm. The foundation of this look is the use of floating planters. These can take many forms: small ceramic pots mounted on a vertical slat wall, hanging baskets with trailing vines suspended from a pergola, or a floating shelf holding minimalist planters at eye level. The goal is to lift the greenery off the ground and into the vertical plane, giving your yard more breathing room while adding visual interest from top to bottom. You could even install glass or wire grid shelving against a wall and line it with soft green herbs, air plants, or succulents. Next comes the neutral color palette, a key element in achieving that clean, modern look. Walls, pavers, outdoor rugs, and furniture should lean into calm tones like warm beige, stone gray, white, sand, and softwood. These hues don't fight for attention. Instead, they give the illusion of space and tranquility. They also serve as a beautiful contrast to plant life, which pops even more vividly against a neutral backdrop. When combined, floating planters and neutral tones create vertical movement and horizontal flow. This balance of elements makes your space feel expansive and elegant. Even if your yard is under 100 square feet, it feels curated, intentional, and uncluttered. In 2025, this design concept is gaining traction among homeowners who want luxury without excess. You don't need a lot of plants or furniture, just the right ones in the right places. Choose one feature wall to focus your vertical display. Pair it with a slim outdoor bench in softwood or steel and a neutral outdoor rug to ground the scene. Add ambient lighting, like string lights or minimal lanterns, to accent the space without overpowering it. Another perk of this approach is flexibility. Floating elements can be adjusted, rearranged, or swapped out with ease. You're not locked into a permanent structure, making it ideal for renters or anyone who loves to refresh their space seasonally. By elevating your greenery and softening your surroundings with calming tones, this minimalist design breathes new life into tight yards. The result? A peaceful, elevated oasis that proves you don't need more space, just smarter design. The benefits of combining floating planters with a neutral palette go far beyond aesthetics. First, this design immediately opens up the space physically and visually. By lifting plants off the ground, you clear pathways and reduce floor-level clutter, making even the smallest yard feel bigger and more functional. From a visual standpoint, neutral tones soothe the eyes and calm the mind. Without harsh contrasts or jarring colors, your outdoor space becomes more peaceful, balanced, and cohesive. It's the kind of place you want to sit in, relax, and breathe deeply. There's also a practical benefit: flexibility. Floating planters are easy to reposition, refresh, or restyle with the seasons. You can grow herbs one month, succulents the next. Plus, these planters often require less watering and maintenance than full in-ground beds. Lastly, this style promotes mindful simplicity. You're choosing fewer, better elements. No need for an overload of decor or plant life. Just clean design, soft light, and intentional placement. The result is a backyard that doesn't just look modern, it feels modern. Quiet, light, and alive. What if one tree could change everything? In the world of minimalist garden design, sometimes less isn't just more, it's perfect. The one tree wonder concept is built on that idea. Choose a single, stunning tree and let it define your entire small backyard. It becomes the star, the focal point, the soul of your space. No clutter, no competition, just pure, intentional beauty. Imagine stepping outside to a serene green oasis where everything feels balanced and calm. Right in the center or gently off to one side stands your chosen tree: a graceful olive, a bold Japanese maple, or a tropical dwarf palm. The simplicity of the setting allows the tree to shine, while every other design choice supports its presence. Gravel or lawn surrounds it. A bench might face it. The lighting is positioned to highlight it. The tree isn't just part of the garden, it is the garden. In 2025, minimalism isn't about doing without, it's about doing things with purpose. One well-placed, thoughtfully selected tree can anchor your entire backyard design and turn it into something memorable. You don't need more. You just need meaning and a tree that brings it. The One Tree Wonder is a minimalist garden design principle that strips landscaping down to a single, intentional focal point, one perfectly chosen tree. It's a concept that reflects clarity, purpose, and restraint, where every square foot of your small backyard serves to highlight and honor this living sculpture. It's proof that you don't need many plants to create a lush, elegant space, you just need the right one. The heart of this design lies in choosing a tree that fits your climate, space, and personality. For a Mediterranean feel, opt for an olive tree with silvery leaves and sculptural branches. Want color and texture? A Japanese maple offers vivid seasonal tones and elegant form. Craving a tropical vibe? Go with a dwarf palm or a banana tree. Once the tree is chosen, the rest of your design is built around it: clean, quiet, and supportive. Surround your tree with soft gravel, crushed stone, or a manicured patch of grass. Place a minimalist bench or stone seat near it, allowing for peaceful contemplation. Lighting is key. Ground spotlights or subtle uplighting can enhance the shape of the branches at night, turning your tree into a living art piece. The rest of the space remains simple neutral tones. Smooth textures and negative space help the tree become the visual anchor. You might also consider a circular or square raised bed around the base of the tree, lined with dark mulch or river stones. This not only protects the root zone but adds to the architectural look. Avoid cluttering the area with additional plants or decor. The strength of this concept lies in its restraint. This approach aligns beautifully with 2025's return to intentional design. It's not about filling your backyard with trends or trying to replicate a resort-style garden. Instead, it's about knowing what matters to you and letting one tree tell that story. Whether it symbolizes peace, growth, tradition, or personal heritage, your tree becomes more than a plant. It becomes a presence. In small yards, this technique also solves a common problem: visual overload. When you try to squeeze too much into a tight space, the result can feel chaotic. With a one-tree wonder design, you create spaciousness through simplicity. The tree draws the eye and creates an emotional pause, a place to sit, breathe, and reconnect. Minimalism is not emptiness, it's focus. And a single, magnificent tree gives your outdoor space all the beauty, structure, and soul it needs. So there you have it, 5 powerful minimalist backyard garden ideas that prove you don't need a big space to create a truly stunning outdoor escape. Whether you go for layered lawns, floating planters, or the beauty of a single statement tree, remember this: simplicity is your greatest tool. When design is intentional, even the smallest yard can feel open, calm, and completely transformed. If you found inspiration in today's ideas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on more smart garden tips from Home Garden Inspirations TV. Got a favorite idea or planning your own backyard makeover? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it green, and we'll see you in the next video.